Hi guys, welcome back to the shop. Hey, today we're going to do a little machining. I think most of this, if you like the machining content, I think you'll like this. We're gonna work on the spring-loaded chain tensioner for the 250 C2 Suzuki, and we're also going to work on the brake bushing or bushings, I guess, for the RM400 and the RM125. Both of them use the same stuff, so I thought while I was set up, I'd just make two of them, and I'd be ready for both. I'm going to get you overhead here and kind of show you what we need to do. And I've actually made one of these tensioners before. If you'll go back to the 250 Yamaha MX, somewhere in the playlist there, I actually make one because if you remember right, we used the C2 swing arm from a Suzuki on that Yamaha. But anyhow, let me get you overhead here and I'll show you and explain to you what we've got in mind for the day. Okay, the next project is the chain tensioner, and we've got a couple different components here. This one here goes through the swing arm right here and is held on with a flat washer, lock washer, and a nut. And then this side goes in here like this. And the spring is right here, and then you've got a roller here and a roller down here. So this is all pretty well worn. These are the original ones off of that Suzuki. The grease grooves are well pronounced here and almost completely worn away on the backside. So we're going to take a piece of, this is 1144. It's what they call stress proof, and it really machines nice, and as long as you're not welding, this is a very good material to use for something like this. I think they also call it 2L14 or something like that. Not sure. But anyhow, we need to have this, you might say, Dale, why are you using such a big piece? Because this integral washer has got to be manufactured with it on there. So it's almost the same size. So that'll be the first thing we'll do is turn down the material here to this diameter. Then we'll work this in and we'll work this in and do the threading. This also has a hole in it for a 6mm bolt washer and lock washer. I've got the new rollers. These are still available from Suzuki. The rubber rollers and the two spacers that go inside of them, right in here. And I had just regular bolts. These are stainless 8.8 bolts with lock nuts that we'll attach those with. And this is the new spring available from Suzuki that will go right in here. I believe it goes just like that. And then hooks on the aluminum stud on the swing arm. That gives you the tension. Okay, and this is available from Suzuki, if I didn't say that. And I'm probably going to use a nylock on here instead of these washers. I'll have to look and see, at least instead of the lock washer. Okay, so the first thing we need to do on this is to make our bracketry. And I just cut a piece of, this is 1/8 inch hot roll plate. Yep, just a little over 1/8 of an inch. I use the same thing, I think, on the other one. We'll have to put this little dog leg in it, and that is just kind of keeps the spring from coming off there, it looks like. Okay. The other side, this side here, is pretty simple to make. So we're going to start out on those with just drawing them out. Kind of works better if you draw these out with a scribe. So I'm going to go ahead and apply the layout fluid to it, also known as Dicom. So we'll get that done, and then we'll let that dry for a minute, and then we'll draw it out. Chain tensioner. You've got the two side pieces here, the spring, the roller, the spacer, and then your bolts that go across there. You get two rollers in there. They're only showing one. And this is the bolt that holds it in, goes through the swing arm right here with the washer, and nut. So that's what we're up to. So I've got this laid out, kind of in basic form. I'm gonna take this over and cut it out on a bandsaw, and then I'm gonna lay these side or on top of one another, so I can get the holes pretty well straight between each one, especially these down here. This one here will be bigger than this one because this piece here is going to be welded into it. And this side here, oh wait a minute, I think I got that backwards. Yep. This side is going to be the smaller one. I've got this marked with an X where the spring stud is going to go. So we'll drill these the same size all the way through, and then we'll increase this one. So over to the bandsaw first, and we'll just cut this out. Okay, we're going to make this piece now. Going to run about 0.640 OD and 1/2 inch ID, and I think it's about 1.1 long. So this I'm going to use DOM tubing for. I've got it pretty close. I've just got to drill it out to 1/2 inch, then we'll work the outside. I'm taking a little liberty with these dimensions. Of course, the original ones were metric, but it doesn't really matter as long as I'm still going to use metric fasteners, but it's just easier for me because I've got the imperial size drill bits and that sort of thing. You know, it doesn't make any difference because if we drill this out to 1/2 inch, as long as we make the other piece that goes in it right at 1/2 inch, everything will be all right. Thanks guys, don't forget to thumbs up. And we'll just finish up with a 1/2 inch reamer. And we'll just trim off the end there. And then we've got to get our length, which is 1.1. Works for me. And then we've got to get this one down to 640. And we're at 754 right now. This should be the last trip through on this one. Okay, that's what we want. Okay, one of these, it'll be welded into one side, and the other side will be a slip fit for it, over it. And this is our spring stop. It goes in between the two pieces we're making. Before I go through that, I want to kind of deburr the top. And there we go. Okay, here's our There's the old one, and here's our new one. I'm gonna go over and tack this on the inside here, and then we'll go ahead and weld it in, and also the spring stop right down here. Got it. We'll just weld it on the inside just like they did here. Okay, I've got that tacked in there, and I'm going to go ahead and pull the two pieces apart, and I'll finish welding it, and I'll weld the spring retainer also. Okay, there's our new roller. This may be sticking up a little bit. I got it in the same place. I don't know, maybe yeah, it's not going to matter. I can cut it off a little bit. I don't want to get it down here into this. So anyhow, we'll deal with that. Now what we're after is this piece that goes through the swing arm. I'm gonna cut the threaded portion first. So I've already got it the length there. So we'll go ahead and turn it down to what we need to there for that thread. What is that? Looks like 0.392. That'd be 10 millimeter, close to it. Yeah, 994.392. Okay, that's our next goal. Okay. Okay. That's what we want. Now I'm going to work on this this little piece right here, the washer. It's just a little bit's got to come off, so it's not going to take long, and then we'll whoop it around. 860. 10. Okay. Yeah, it's more than enough. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, 860 is what I had, so pretty close. So we'll whoop this thing around and do the rotating side. Gotta cut this off first. This we're turning down to 1/2 inch or thereabouts. Okay, this should be just about the last cut. On the OD there anyway. Okay, I might have to take a little bit. That's a half thousandths over. Let's see if it will fit. Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to take some. I don't know, that's pretty good. I probably just need to hit it with a file a little bit. Yeah, yeah, that's fine. Okay, I've got to get my end cleaned up, and then we've got to tap it for a 6mm one. Okay, now we'll try this. We'll get the starter tap or starter bit in here first. Okay, get a bottom tap and finish the job. Okay, I think we're done with that piece. And one more thing I need to do is put the grease groove in there, right here. I think that's good. Okay guys, there's the whole enchilada there. This is how it goes on the bike. This will, you've got to take the wheel off to get this in there. So this is going to go through the swing arm. You're going to see the bolt and the washers out there. This is coming up against the stop like this on the swing arm. So that's how you get your movement out of that. And this dog leg probably does a couple different things, but it actually, probably the most important thing is the offset, so that these wheels basically line up with the center of the chain. If you don't have the offset, you're not going to have the proper orientation here. And this this made-on washer also helps get that orientation correctly. But this is quite a bit heavier. I don't know whether how much. It does weigh a little bit more, but not a lot. This piece here was 1/8 inch. This one here was stamped, a lot thinner, had a support here. I don't think that I need that because of the, the thickness of the metal here. If you're worried about weight, yeah, there's you probably better try to find one of these or something. But if you just want durability, I don't think you're going to be able to find a better one than one like this. I think this is going to hold up a lot longer. So anyhow, that's the chain tensioner on the Suzuki RM 250 C2. Now, I talked about the bushings for the 400 and 125. I'm going to have to put those in a separate video. So be sure to, I'm going to try to release these both the same day. So if you so desire, they're out there. So you've got that yet to watch if you want. If you like that machining content, then you're going to like that also. So be sure to watch that one. Okay, just to show you the application here. This is the spring stop. This is where this is going to go. And you need this dog leg in order to line up with the chain and also the washer, like I said. So this goes through, and then you can see there that the little tab on the spring is behind it, and then you're behind the one on there, so that gives you your spring action. And then out here you've got your two washers and your nut. Okay. And you can see here the operation of that. And let's see here if I can get you a shot from the top. You can see there that the chain runs right over the center raised portion of the rollers. Okay, I think you can see it in there now. Okay, guys, there you have it. That's the fabrication, if you will, of the chain tensioner on the 1978.5 Suzuki 250 C2. I'm not real familiar with how the other ones work, so I don't know whether they're comparable or not. Judging by everything else that I try to find or repair on this bike, the C2 is different. So beware of that. So hey, thanks for going along on the ride, and we'll see you next video.